My name is Haja Jallo, and I am a doctoral student at the Chicago School of Professional Psychology. My presentation today is titled Translational Research, the Understanding and Treatment of Addiction. The goal of my presentation is to explore translational research in various fields, including but not limited to the experimental analysis of behavior and applied behavior analysis in the treatment of addiction. I will review articles, and the convergence of basic and applied research will be explored. Addiction is a continued issue in the community, and the collaboration of the sciences to find a solution is highly encouraged. Translational research is the application of basic research into applied settings to enhance the health and well-being of living organisms. Translational research is the convergence of many parts of science. It is a collaboration of many disciplines to better our world. The focus of this paper is addiction. There are a lot of options for translational research in addiction. There are several fields interested in addiction and its effects on people and society. Fields like psychology, medicine, sociology, and behavior analysis. Applying the principles of basic research and applying those in a natural environment is something that applied behavior analysis does often. Some of these studies can be considered translational research. Addiction can be defined as a condition that results when a person ingests a substance like alcohol or drugs like cocaine or nicotine, or engages in activity like gambling, sex, or shopping that can be pleasurable, but the continued use of said drug or continuing these activities becomes compulsive and interferes with ordinary life responsibilities such as work, relationships, or health. According to Psychology Today, extensive evidence from the laboratory and clinic suggests that drug addiction can be viewed as operant behavior and effectively treated through the application of principles of operant conditioning. Silverman, Hugg, and Higgins did a study that studied addiction as operant behavior, which we all know is learned behavior. And if behavior can be learned, it can be unlearned and replaced. Addiction can be treated by using the same principles used in treating other behaviors of interest. Addiction is a growing concern in society. It is a burden on all of us, as well as a tragedy for families involved. According to Watchtowitz, most state inmates incarcerated under jurisdiction of Department of Corrections in several states are driven to crimes by drug abuse. Understanding the factors contributing to addiction is a first step in developing strategies for successful inmate reintegration. A high percentage of our current prison population is incarcerated due to drug-related crimes. Applied behavior analysis can be used in the decrease of addiction and drug use. The research of addiction in applied behavior analysis is relevant to my practice because of the research of operant behavior in a diverse array of contexts. The principles of applied behavior analysis can be used to treat addiction because addiction is an exhibition of behavior. Because addiction is a behavior that is undesirable, it can be considered maladaptive behaviors such as tantrums or self-injurious behavior, which we try to decrease and replace in other populations. Silverstein and Higgins addressed drug addiction treatment with behavior intervention. Drug addiction has a high cost to society. The families that are affected by drug addiction, as well as the strain on the economy in the form of long and short-term health care costs. The article by Silverstein and Higgins highlighted the use of contingency management interventions with addicts, improving effectiveness of contingency management interventions, and expanding the use of contingency management interventions across context, population, and drugs. The article was pertinent to my topic of addiction because it highlighted the treatment of addiction. In behavior analysis, addiction is categorized as operant behavior and is treated by addressing each component of the operant behaviors. This is pertinent because instead of looking at addiction as a disease or as a whole, you break it down to its basic components, and those are each treated, therefore treating the whole. This can be likened to a task analysis, for example. Winger and his counterparts addressed the behavioral perspectives on the neuroscience of drug addiction. In their study, they note that the neuroscientists describe drug addiction as a behavioral disorder and not a disease. In Winger's paper, he specified that neuroscientists use measures of reinforcing effects of drugs or self-administration and sensitization, which is an increase. Sensitization is an increase over time in stimulating effects of a drug as a consequence of repeated administration of the drug. They also describe conditioned place preference, which is a selection by the animal of an environment where it previously experienced the effect of a drug. Very few of the neuroscientists use words such as compulsive or uncontrolled in their evaluation of brain changes stemming from drug use. The language that is used by neuroscientists to describe the use of drugs and its effects on an organism is similar in meaning to the language used by behavior analysts. It is important that as a society we do not relinquish control completely by using language such as uncontrolled. We do have control by the manipulation of our environment. Translational research between applied behavior analysis and neuroscience could be a great collaboration. We could explore addiction from two avenues: biology and the environment. Eppolito, France, and Gerak in 2013 conducted a study on the effects of acute and chronic effects of morphine on delayed discounting in pigeons. According to DeWitt, impulsive behaviors are thought to be important behavioral determinants of drug use, to be characteristic of substance abusing individuals, and to develop a consequence of drug use. In the study by Eppolito on pigeons were given the option of a larger reinforcer in the near future, so immediately, and